This is Margarida, the normal one in a not quite normal marriage.
And this is Peter. He's a little bit different, which keeps me on my toes. Together we are on an adventure that didn't work out as planned, but we are fighting back, so come join us.
Let's go.
Bloody hell, I've just got to stop it right there. We can't have too much excitement and fun all in one concentrated bit. You won't want to watch the rest of the video. I really wanted to go back to that little bay we had just been to because there was a northerly coming in a couple of days and this would provide the best protection, having no fetch to the north at all. But as I got close, the whole entrance was awash with whitewater and wasn't too inviting at all, so I went round to the next entrance. I wanted to anchor around here. I could have anchored around to the left here, which would have been much better protection from the northerly, but this area is really shallow and with about 1 foot under my keel and with the southerlies at the moment, I didn't want to be bouncing up and down off the bottom from the chop and swell, the fetch being about 1 mile. Another spot to anchor would be right in the middle of the channel. As you can see, it's all sand, but that wouldn't be great at all. Since we have a sizable swell coming from the southeast, it still penetrates and diffracts like this. But with the approaching northerly, with the winds going from southeast to southwest through to northwest and then finally northeast, you are going to have times when you are beam onto this penetrating swell and it will be terribly uncomfortable with my remaining brain cells getting bounced around like a fart in a pickle bottle. But it's actually much worse than this because there is a very hefty current both in and out of here. We are here and there's a huge bay to the north which is effectively barriered by reefs and islands along the bottom here in yellow, with few places and channels to allow this incoming water to enter and escape. Now with all of this, the changing winds and the currents, the channel is most likely going to be a messy place to be in. A lot of the time you'll not be quite swinging to anchor at all, with wind against tide, being beam on to the exaggerated chop and having the boat jarring the anchor from time to time. Doesn't actually help with a good night's sleep. But if I go over here, I will be out of the current and have the protection of some bommies and reef for the incoming swells and chop. Up until now, we were really just discussing comfort and getting a good night's sleep. But of course, the approaching northerly adds an element of concern with winds up to 35 knots. It's not a very big one, luckily. With a very large fetch to the northwest and north, it could get a bit hairy for a few hours, so I just have to know exactly where the reefs are around this pink area, just in case I drag anchor and have to get the hell out of there, which of course is likely to be in the middle of the bloody night. So I anchored in behind the reef and bommies where the water was the calmest, and then I set off on the dinghy with the tablet to map out where the nearby reefs and bommies were, just in case. All the bommies were mapped. Any likely direction I would drag would be to the south, and with the boat in the far bottom right hand corner, I had plenty of room to manoeuvre, so it was all good. You might have noticed that on a couple of episodes there was a lot of intermittent filming with the GoPro, because the GoPro is sitting up on my my mask, and because this is quite buoyant in itself, the lens is not always in the water. I've got a new wetsuit, and because it's got a hood, I'm sitting quite high in the water. So that's actually putting my head further out of the water, and so we're getting lots of splashes. So to get around that, what I've done is I've got an old bicycle tube, cut it, I put some weights in it, and I've got a little clip. So we've probably got about just under 1 kilo here. Yes, I've got lots of vacuous space here to get into the water. So with this, I simply click it around my neck, like that, and it pushes my head down, and so we get better filming quality. That's right, people, nothing but quality. The trouble is, what I want is this to actually sit up like that. What it does is it creeps down and it sits on my neck, and now I'm starting to get a kinked neck, which is a bit of a bugger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew something in the back of my wetsuit, a little tag, so I can actually feed it in so it can actually sit it up high. It'll choke me a little bit, but I'd rather be choked than with a broken neck. I had sewn on a bit of rubber there, that's at the back of my neck here, for this to actually sit on, but it's not good enough. It always slips off and comes down, especially when I'm diving and coming back up. So I'm going to simply just put in a loop, something like that, hang it there, and I'll actually put that neck weight through that so it'll actually hang off that. So the neck weight will just go through this loop and clip it up, and then that should hold it at a good spot so I don't get a kink. Another day in paradise. Today we're after a smaller fish. They're porgies, they're like a snapper. Sometimes they go this big, but I've only seen them, usually that's the biggest I've seen. So it's only a small fish today, just to let you know how it tastes. I've actually had it before, but I'm going to try it again because I've sort of forgotten. Check out this moray eel. I fed her yesterday, and when I jumped in the water today, I could see it making a beeline to me to say hello from about 30 metres away. If only it was like this with all females.
I think she loves me, people, and likes following me around. I think I'll make a movie, an original movie. My moray eel teacher. Original concept, never been done before, except with an octopus in My Octopus Teacher. But where's the danger with an octopus, people? Is it going to slime me to death? What was that doco guy thinking? Where is the danger there? Are there razor-sharp teeth that can teach me lessons, hey? In my original doco, people, that's right, original, my eel can teach me to play the guitar with only 3 fingers. After a few days of filming with her, that would be all that's left. I think I'm onto something here, people. After my moray eel teacher, I think I'll do another original movie. That's right, another original movie. My great white shark teacher. Only be a short doco though. Just one lesson there to be learnt.
I remember my mast cam is tilted back too much. With my Geico sloping forward, it's really difficult to judge the angle that the camera ought to be at. I'm a bit of a pussy, being cautious at the start using my spear, but I soon realised that she really knew her stuff, and quite frankly, I didn't play the guitar and I could miss a finger or two, so I started to use my hand. In actual fact, there were 2 eels, and they were about the same size, and I already know from before that they can eat about 3 small fish, so yep, that's right, 6 fish. I'll be here all bloody day. You may be asking, how do I know this is a female? Well, let me educate you people, as this is a learning channel. When I push the fish towards her, trying to get her to eat it, she doesn't want to eat it. And when I pull it away, not wanting her to eat it, she then wants to eat it. That's right, people, whatever I wanted to do, she wants to do the damn opposite. Female. QED. I wish I was a bit smarter and I could do reverse psychology, but it is too tiresome and I simply just resort to banging my head on the wall just like most other males, as God intended. Maybe that's why my forehead is sloping and I look like the Geico insurance guy. This is becoming hard work, people. I need to catch my own dinner and not bugger eyes around here feeding you slackers all day. But I'm a bit of a softie for females. What are you going to do? Okay, time to get a porgy snapper and get away from here before all the bloody eels come around begging.
Check out the porgy snapper at the end of the gun. I have a cunning plan, people. So cunning you can put a tail on it and call it a weasel. This was just for a bit of fun to see if it would work. I don't think I'll do this again. It's way too easy. And the taste of porgies is just like any other juvenile snapper. The flesh is really sweet. I have only 2 more days left of freedom before Margarida arrives back. Well, it's a 50-50 bet whether that actually happens or not. You know this channel. See you next week.